It starts in your kitchen, quietly, subtly. You eat what you've always believed to be healthy, comforting, colorful vegetables passed down through generations. But one morning, your knees ache again. You wobble on the stairs. Your hands feel colder. Could it be age? Or could it be what's on your plate? What if the very vegetables you trust are quietly inflaming your joints, draining your energy, and clouding your thoughts? Today, we reveal the three vegetables most seniors should reconsider immediately, and the three replacements that could restore your strength, clarity, and independence. For decades, Henry believed he was doing the right thing. Dinner for him meant a warm plate of mashed potatoes, creamy, familiar, and comforting. At 69, the dish reminded him of family dinners, of holidays, of home. But what he didn't know was that something so innocent was quietly making him weaker. His knees ached more with each week. His feet felt colder. Getting up from the couch took effort. He chalked it up to aging. But when he finally saw a doctor, the truth shocked him. Potatoes, especially white potatoes, are one of the most deceptively harmful foods for seniors who struggle with circulation, inflammation, or balance. Most people think of them as harmless, even essential. But white potatoes rank high on the glycemic index. That means your body rapidly converts them into sugar. And when blood sugar spikes, your body launches an inflammatory response. Over time, this constant inflammation silently damages your smallest blood vessels, the ones that deliver oxygen to your legs, feet, and even your brain. The result, poor circulation, numb toes, slow reaction time, that off feeling in your step. These are not random signs of getting older. They're red flags from your body. When you pile on butter, cheese, sour cream, or bacon bits, the damage only gets worse. The saturated fats stress your heart. The extra salt raises blood pressure, all from a food you grew up loving. Back to Henry. His doctor asked him to try a simple swap. Instead of mashed potatoes, steam a cup of broccoli. Just 2 weeks later, Henry reported something surprising. His feet weren't as cold. His knees didn't feel as stiff. He was walking to the mailbox without hesitation. It wasn't magic. It was blood flow. You don't need to give up every food you love. But after 60, the rules change. Your body doesn't process starch and sugar the way it used to. Foods that once fueled you might now be draining you. That's not failure. It's biology. And it's something you can work with. The next time you reach for a plate of white potatoes, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this feeding my strength or quietly taking it away? That single question might just change how you age. When Margaret turned 70, she decided to cook more at home, focusing on meals packed with vegetables. One of her favorites quickly became grilled eggplant, soft, flavorful, and full of Mediterranean charm. She thought she was doing everything right, choosing plant-based meals over processed foods. But within a few months, something strange began happening. Her hips started to ache in the mornings. Her knees felt stiff by mid-afternoon. Climbing stairs became harder, and she often had to pause to catch her balance. Confused, she blamed her mattress, her shoes, even the weather. But the problem was on her plate the whole time. Eggplant, though often praised for being low in calories and rich in antioxidants, belongs to a family of vegetables known as nightshades. This group also includes tomatoes, bell peppers, and white potatoes, foods that contain a natural chemical called solanine. While solanine helps these plants defend themselves from pests, it can trigger a very different reaction inside the human body, especially for those over 60. For seniors with increased sensitivity or chronic joint issues, solanine may act as a low-level irritant. It doesn't cause a dramatic allergic reaction. Instead, it slowly inflames tissues, especially around the joints and nerves, leading to morning stiffness, joint swelling, and slower reflexes. For someone like Margaret, who already had mild arthritis, daily exposure to solanine quietly made her symptoms worse. What's more dangerous is how subtle it all feels. There's no dramatic collapse, no immediate alarm. You just feel heavier, less steady, and more tired. Over time, that makes you withdraw from stairs, from walks, from social events. You begin to lose confidence in your own body, not realizing a simple food might be to blame. The good news: Margaret's doctor suggested she cut eggplant and other nightshades for just 3 weeks. Within 10 days, she noticed her knees didn't ache quite as much in the morning. By the third week, she was walking more smoothly and felt like she had more energy. This isn't about fearing vegetables. It's about understanding how aging bodies respond differently. If you feel stiff, foggy, or inflamed for no clear reason, it may be worth examining what's on your plate. Eliminate nightshades temporarily. Replace them with leafy greens, squash, or zucchini. Listen to your body. Often it's trying to tell you something, softly at first, then louder over time. At first glance, green bell peppers seem like the perfect addition to a healthy meal, crisp, colorful, and loaded with vitamin C. That's exactly what Ronald believed when he started adding them to his salads every day after turning 65. He was trying to eat cleaner, stay active, and avoid processed foods. But weeks into his new routine, he began to feel strange. His stomach felt bloated after meals, his ankles started to stiffen in the mornings, and he found himself more forgetful than usual. Small things, missing a step, losing his balance, struggling to recall names, began to creep in. He never once suspected the bright green veggie on his plate. But the truth is, green bell peppers contain a naturally occurring protein called lectin, a substance that helps protect plants from pests, but can quietly irritate the human gut. For seniors whose digestive lining is already more delicate, lectins may cause mild but chronic inflammation. They can bind to the gut wall, disrupt nutrient absorption, and create microscopic tears that allow unwanted particles into the bloodstream. This leads to what doctors refer to as leaky gut, a condition that doesn't just stay in your stomach. It can ripple out and affect your joints, brain, and energy levels. In Ronald's case, the result was a slow decline in physical and cognitive sharpness, masked as normal aging. What made it worse was that green bell peppers are often eaten raw or only lightly cooked, meaning the lectins remain active. Even though they're technically a vegetable, their impact on older adults can be more harmful than helpful. Ronald's physician suggested a 2-week elimination test, removing green bell peppers entirely and replacing them with red, orange, or yellow bell peppers. These ripened versions have far fewer lectins and far more antioxidants like beta-carotene and vitamin C within 10 days. Ronald's bloating decreased, his joints felt looser, and his focus noticeably improved. It wasn't a miracle cure. It was just a clearer connection between his food and how his body responded. If you're over 60 and dealing with unexplained gut issues, nerve discomfort, or cloudy thinking, don't overlook the vegetables you trust. Sometimes it's not about what you're missing. It's about what you didn't know you needed to pause. Small changes can lead to big relief. And often, healing starts with subtraction, not addition. For many people, carrots are just a crunchy snack or a colorful side dish tossed into a dinner plate without much thought. But for Linda, a retired teacher in her early 70s, carrots became something more, a quiet hero in her journey back to feeling strong again. After noticing increasing difficulty with balance and occasional blurriness in her vision, Linda grew concerned. She had always been relatively healthy, but these subtle shifts made her question if she was entering a phase of decline she couldn't control. That's when her daughter, a nutritionist, suggested something surprisingly simple: Eat a small serving of carrots every day, not as a diet gimmick, but as a tool to protect her eyes, nerves, and mobility. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that the body converts into vitamin A. This nutrient doesn't just support vision. It helps maintain the health of the retina, especially the macula, which allows for sharp central sight. As we age, the risk of macular degeneration rises, leading to blurred vision and even trouble recognizing faces or reading labels. But that's just one layer of the carrot's power. Its antioxidants also protect the delicate capillaries and nerve endings in the legs and feet, where circulation often weakens with age. That means better blood flow, clearer nerve signals, and more confidence while walking, especially on uneven ground or stairs. After just 3 weeks of adding steamed carrots to her lunch, Linda noticed she wasn't squinting as much when reading, and her steps felt lighter. There was no dramatic transformation, but the subtle changes brought her relief and a sense of control. What surprised her most was how such a common, affordable vegetable could make such a meaningful difference. Beyond the nutrients, carrots are also high in fiber, aiding digestion, and they help stabilize blood sugar, which supports steady energy throughout the day. Unlike processed snacks that spike and crash your system, carrots offer consistent, nourishing support. If you're over 60 and feel like your balance is off, your eyes are straining more than usual, or your legs feel weak for no reason, don't overlook what's on your plate. Sometimes the answer isn't a new pill. It's an old vegetable, long trusted but too often underestimated. Carrots may not look like a miracle food, but for seniors, they can quietly become one. Broccoli was never Marvin's favorite. He'd push it aside at dinner, drown it in cheese, or skip it altogether. But after turning 68 and noticing that his legs felt heavier, his thoughts slower, and his blood pressure edging higher, he knew something had to change. His doctor didn't prescribe a new medication. He recommended a plate of steamed broccoli every day for 2 weeks. Skeptical but willing, Marvin gave it a shot. What he didn't expect was how quickly he began to feel the difference. Broccoli, often dismissed as bland or boring, is one of the most powerful vegetables for seniors, especially when it comes to circulation, brain health, and inflammation. Its secret weapon, a compound called sulforaphane. Found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, sulforaphane helps activate detoxifying enzymes and reduce oxidative stress, the very kind of silent, cell-damaging stress that worsens with age. As inflammation increases, it damages the inner lining of blood vessels, slows down nerve signals, and causes that sluggish, foggy feeling many seniors chalk up to just getting older. But broccoli fights back. It helps your body stay balanced, stabilizing blood sugar levels, supporting flexible arteries, and even enhancing bone strength with its vitamin K and calcium content. Within 10 days, Marvin noticed his legs didn't swell as much by evening. His knees felt more stable. He was less winded during his morning walks. Even his memory felt sharper, less searching for words, fewer blank moments. He hadn't added any pills, just a forkful of green with every lunch. Broccoli also provides a generous dose of fiber, which supports digestion and reduces cholesterol, two key concerns for seniors. But how it's cooked matters. Boiling too long can destroy sulforaphane, while light steaming or quick sautéing in olive oil preserves its power. Marvin found a method he liked, lightly sautéed with garlic and lemon, and stuck with it. His energy came back gradually, quietly. He didn't feel younger, but he felt more in control. If you're over 60 and battling stiffness, brain fog, or blood pressure that just won't stabilize, broccoli may not sound exciting, but it works. It's not flashy, but it's effective. Sometimes the foods we've ignored are the very ones we need most. One serving a day could mean the difference between decline and resilience. When Alina started feeling dizzy while gardening, she brushed it off as dehydration. But the spells became more frequent, especially when she stood up too fast or climbed stairs. Her vision would blur for a few seconds, her legs felt weak, and her thoughts seemed to lag behind. At 73, she had always been active and independent, but something was clearly shifting. After a full checkup, her doctor surprised her with a recommendation that had nothing to do with prescriptions. Eat spinach every single day. Spinach, it turns out, isn't just a healthy green. It's a circulation booster, brain supporter, and nerve protector packed into one humble leaf. Its magic lies in its high levels of natural nitrates, compounds that help dilate blood vessels and improve oxygen flow throughout the body, especially to the brain and lower limbs. For seniors, that means fewer dizzy spells, stronger reflexes, and better control over balance. But spinach goes even further. It's rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that shield the retina and protect against age-related macular degeneration, which affects central vision. Alina had no idea her occasional blurry vision might be related to the food she wasn't eating enough of. As she added spinach, sautéed with olive oil, mixed into soups, or blended into smoothies, she began to feel steadier within days. Her vision didn't blur as often. Her steps became more confident. She even began waking up more alert with fewer of those "where am I?" moments that had started to creep into her mornings. What shocked her most was that she didn't need a drastic diet overhaul, just one handful of spinach a day. Beyond nitrates and eye-protecting antioxidants, spinach delivers vitamin K for bone strength, magnesium for muscle function, and folate for emotional balance and brain clarity. It's not just about movement, it's about mindset. Many seniors unknowingly live in a fog, assuming it's a normal part of aging. But sometimes, that fog lifts with the right nutrition. Alina learned that better blood flow means more than warm hands and feet. It means freedom. Freedom to walk without hesitation. Freedom to think clearly. Freedom to feel strong in her own body again. If you've overlooked spinach, it might be time to invite it back to your plate, not just for your heart, but for your clarity, coordination, and confidence. As we bring it all together, one truth becomes clear. The vegetables on your plate are either quietly weakening you or steadily rebuilding your strength. After 60, your body changes. Circulation slows, inflammation rises, and nerves become more fragile. White potatoes spike your blood sugar and strain tiny vessels. Eggplant stirs up joint irritation with hidden solanine. Green bell peppers inflame your gut and dull your reflexes with lectins. But there's hope, and it's not complicated. Carrots, with their beta-carotene, sharpen your vision and protect your legs. Broccoli fights silent inflammation and fuels better balance. Spinach restores blood flow and brings clarity to both movement and mind. These are not superfoods marketed with hype. They are simple, affordable tools for real change. Every bite is a choice. Just ask Linda, Marvin, and Alina. Each found strength not in a new pill, but in what they added or removed from their plate. You don't need a perfect diet. You need the right one for your season of life. So today, take a closer look at your vegetables. Swap what harms you. Choose what heals. And remember, it's never too late to feel stronger, think clearer, and move with confidence again, one meal at a time.